Hi.
Hola.
Hi, hier ist Mr. Döse.
This is Michael Bradley.
Hey, I'm Memphis.
Hey.
Hola. Hello.
I'm here with soccer.com.
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 And I'm talking with my friends soccer.com.
See you soon.
Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the brand new Puma evoSPEED SL2 in the Tricks colorway. So as you guys can see, it does come in a special box with patterns and colors that match the actual shoes. Inside the box, they include this little carrying case or padded pouch, whatever you want to call it. Has the Puma evoSPEED branding there in white at the bottom. It's Velcroed shut, and when you open it up, you can see it has two little sleeves for the extra set of comfort insoles. So the ones that are already in the shoes are a lot thinner. These are pretty much standard insoles. I'm not sure I would call them anything special as far as the amount of comfort that they're actually going to provide. Mesh liner on top, some perforations throughout, just a single layer of foam, but definitely more significant than the ones, like I said, already included inside the shoes. And other than that, what you're going to find inside the box, as you guys can see, are the shoes themselves. So get the box out of the way, and we'll take a closer look at what is a pretty controversial shoe from Puma, in that obviously last year with the release of the Puma evoSPEED SL, people were really kind of excited about a shoe being 100 grams and readily available to the public. That's great. The feel of wearing something like this is unlike anything else out there. The downside of making a shoe this light is that, quite frankly, it just isn't very durable, and just like the original evoSPEED SL, this does come with the infamous warning label. So on the bottom of the shoe, you can see that it reads this: the evoSPEED SL is not for training days, it's for your best days, your match days. It may only be used on real grass and in fair weather conditions. A non-compromised lightweight proposition. This product is about speed, not endurance, but the moments it creates will last forever. So very interesting in that they're basically telling you this shoe is going to be super lightweight, it's going to perform extremely well, but it's not going to hold up very long. So if you only have one pair of shoes to buy for a season that you expect to last the entire season, this is not for you. These are made for games only, not really to practice in, and like I said, they're just not going to last very long. With the original evoSPEED SL, I got about 7 games out of a single pair, or 7 uses out of a single pair, and I would expect these to be pretty similar in that they haven't really changed up much the design, something we're going to be talking about in this video. So if you're interested in learning more about the evoSPEED 2 SL, stick around. We're going to go over all the details. If you're interested in a pair for yourself, click the very first link down below in the description of this video, and that's going to take you to the review page on my website, where you will find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes. You'll be able to pick these up below their normal $250 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below, go ahead and check it out. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's talk about and take a look at the weight. Now this is, for me, the most impressive aspect of the evoSPEED SL models, as well as the downfall of the shoes, because obviously to make a shoe this light, it just isn't going to hold up very well. And a lot of people ask what exactly goes wrong. The sole separates from the upper. It's just too hard to secure such a thin plastic sole to such a thin synthetic upper and have the shoe last. So I'm going to turn the scale on. We're going to weigh in both of these shoes in real time. This is the original evoSPEED SL from last year. Here's the new evoSPEED 2 SL, which honestly, guys, they've made very minimal changes to the shoe that we're going to detail in this video. I'm going to weigh both of them for you today in real time using this scale, just so we can see exactly how much they weigh. Keep in mind, these are both in brand new condition and both the exact same size, 9.5 US. So this is a very fair comparison. We'll start off with the original evoSPEED, throw it on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 3.7 ounces, the equivalent of 105 grams, extremely lightweight, lighter than anything else out there by a long shot. So we'll change the scale back to ounces, pull these off, and we'll throw on the evoSPEED SL2, and you can see that they weigh in at 3.7 ounces, the equivalent of 105 grams. So like I said, they've made very minor changes to the shoe, which mean the weight is absolutely identical. With that being said, especially for those of you guys that regularly watch my channel, you know that I don't really talk about the weight of a shoe that much. Yes, it's important, but it definitely is the most important aspect when it comes to a pair of soccer cleats. But when taken to the extreme that Puma's done here with this particular model, the experience of wearing these evoSPEED SL shoes weighing in at right at the 100 gram mark is incredible. It's unlike anything else out there. It's the truest to barefoot experience that you can have in any shoe. With that being said, at $250 a pop with a shoe that's only expected to last about 10 wears, is it a good value? No. I think for most people, 99% of people, it just isn't. But if you're really curious, you have the extra money to spend on a pair of shoes that is going to offer probably the most unique experience of anything out there, then yes, the evoSPEED 2 SL or the evoSPEED SL, if you can find an older one on sale, is definitely worth the price of admission if you are curious. As far as tech specs go, the way that they're able to make a shoe as light as the evoSPEED SL is by keeping absolutely every element of this shoe very, very minimal. Now, for the most part, like I just mentioned, they haven't changed all that much coming from the original evoSPEED. So again, as far as durability is concerned, I would expect these to be pretty much identical. The upper itself is still that textile-based synthetic material. You can see the textile base through the translucent polyurethane covering. So you have the mesh, the polyurethane covering, and then on the inside, which are these little lines that you see peeking through, you have the speed frame support system, which acts as your liner and basically provides all the structure for the upper, which is still a very, very small amount. So when you remove the laces and look inside the shoe, you can see all of that speed frame support structure that, again, is just a textile base. It's a very thin layer of material, adds almost no rigidity to the upper. And as far as thickness and touch is concerned, the touch that you get on this shoe is, like I said, unlike anything else out there. It is as thin as it gets. It doesn't feel plasticky on your foot. It doesn't feel rigid in any way. There's really no break-in time with a shoe that's only expected to last about 10 wears. So they're comfortable out of the box, but they are super, super thin. It's almost like you're not wearing shoes at all, which is part of the appeal of this shoe in general. I don't think that Puma would make this shoe if they didn't think that it offered something that you couldn't get anywhere else. And that's why they are making it. Is it a shoe they're going to sell a lot of? No. But for those that do actually end up buying a pair of these, the experience that they'll have, like I said, is unlike anything else out there. So on the previous model, it has the same textile base, and for the most part, the speed frame liner is almost identical, but they did make a couple of changes. You're going to notice on the original, behind the tongue, it has this kind of crisscross pattern as far as the speed frame is concerned, whereas on the newer model, it's a little bit different as far as the pattern is concerned. It's just kind of straight down the middle, but the same idea applies. And then actually in the forefoot area, and you can see this a little bit easier from the outside of the shoe, you can see on the new model, there basically is just straight lines in terms of support frame running through the forefoot and toe box area, whereas on the original shoe, when you get up close, you can see it has those same straight lines, but there's also the ones crossing along the actual toe itself. So they took away a little bit of the speed frame on the newer model. Not sure why. It hasn't made the shoe any lighter, as you guys saw in the first part of the video, but it is something that they have changed in regards to the upper. So a little bit of the speed frame support system in the tongue and a little bit in the forefoot area, but I don't think that either of these two elements are really going to impact the overall experience of wearing this shoe. As far as responsiveness is concerned, given the actual thickness of the upper, it's not the most responsive thing in the world. The stud pattern and traction that it provides is absolutely fantastic. But the actual upper itself, it does have some rollover to it. It does have some movement. That's just to be expected given how thin it actually is. But overall, the experience, like I said, because they are so light, because they do fit fairly well, it feels unlike anything else. It's the best way to describe it. It is like playing with no shoes on at all. It's like having studs that are somehow attached to your feet and a shoe that has no upper. It's a really, really cool experience. And yes, while it's not the most responsive shoe in the world, it's not something that I felt was ever a problem when I actually did wear these things. So like I said, don't expect an extremely lockdown sensation from this particular shoe, but while they do last, the experience that you get is going to be a pretty positive one. At least it was for me. And I'm not a fan of super lightweight, super thin shoes, but these are a lot of fun to wear. Laces run through the middle, as you guys can see. The heel area is made from synthetic as well. Really no structure here, just the external heel counter from the SL sole plate. The heel liner has been changed. Instead of just being a smooth perforated leather, it's a synthetic material that has a little bit of kind of dimpling to it, so it's slightly grippy to the touch. A little bit better as far as gripping your actual sock, but heel slippage wasn't an issue with the original. Don't expect it to be with this one either. So again, a very small change as far as what they've done with the newer model, and that pretty much rounds out the changes. A little bit of a difference in the speed frame and a little bit of a difference in the heel liner. Other than that, this is identical to the original evoSPEED SL. The insole, fully removable. I'll give you guys a quick look at that. This is the lightweight one. You guys already saw the comfort one at the start of the video, and it is as minimal and as light as it gets. It's a single layer of this very interesting foam material. It's not overly thin, as you guys can see. It reminds me a lot of the Nike GS insole, for those of you guys that remember that particular shoe. It's a dense, kind of almost airy foam, I guess is the best way to describe it. Super, super light. Provides a decent amount of underfoot cushioning, all things considered. Doesn't have any liner, as you guys can see, but it does have some texturing to it. Grips your socks fairly well. Doesn't slide around on the inside of the shoe, and it gets the job done. If you're looking for the lightest possible piece of footwear, an insole like this is going to help Puma achieve that goal, which I think they've done pretty successfully, being that the shoe only weighs in at 105 grams in a 9.5 US. As far as the outsole is concerned, it does have, of course, the same outsole as what we got on the original SL model. It is also one of the major reasons why the shoe is as light as it is. It's a Pebax construction, very, very thin. And as you guys saw on the sticker at the start of the video, this is not designed for use on artificial grass at all. This is made for really premium fields. If you play on hard ground even, this is not going to be a good shoe for you, both not only because it's not very durable, and the harder the ground is, the less durable it's going to be. Same thing goes for artificial grass. If you expect the shoe to last 10 games on natural grass, I would expect it to last 1 or 2 uses on artificial grass, just because it's that much more abrasive and that much harder on your shoes. And as far as the actual thickness of the sole plate is concerned, if you are on a harder surface where the surface doesn't have the depth for the studs to dig in, because the sole plate is as thin as it is, you probably will experience some stud pressure. So again, this is really made for premium, kind of pristine natural grass plain surfaces, and that's about it. And that's really how I'd go about recommending using this particular sole plate and stud pattern, especially on this particular variation of the evoSPEED, being that this is the SL model with the super thin upper. Sole plate, very flexible, moves naturally with your feet. Again, not really much to break in with this particular shoe. It does have the speed track system, which does offer a decent amount of rigidity through the midfoot and heel area, given, again, how light the shoe actually is. And then the stud pattern is very, very good. We do get this on the standard synthetic evoSPEED now, the evoSPEED 1.5, which is great. It works extremely well. You have these conical studs at the front of the forefoot area. These are kind of your main studs for pushing off and accelerating, changing direction. They have some decent length to them, and they dig into the ground quite nicely, providing some really aggressive bite. You have some stabilizer studs in the forefoot, bladed in shape, as you guys can see, 2 at the base, 1 in the middle. And then the heel is kind of an unusual layout where you have 2 bladed studs on the lateral side and then 1 single conical stud on the medial side. This layout is both for weight savings, because obviously you have less studs, it's going to be a little bit lighter, and it actually does perform the part. Stability is not an issue at all. While it looks very weird, the actual feel of wearing this shoe with 3 studs in the heel, you don't notice it. It just feels normal. And as long as you're not thinking about it, it's just not something you're ever going to notice while you're playing in the shoe. So again, as far as traction is concerned, no complaints here. Definitely one of the better firm ground stud patterns currently out there. But again, this is a shoe with a lot of quirks to it. The fact that it is $250 and is only expected to last about 10 uses is going to scare a lot of people away, and rightfully so. It's a lot of money to spend on kind of a per use breakdown. But again, if you do have the money to spend on a pair of these evoSPEED SL2s, the experience that it provides is unlike anything else out there. Aesthetically, the new evoSPEED I think has really nice graphics. This being a Trix variation, I'm not sure if future colorways will have exactly this pattern, kind of splitting up the middle part of the shoe, where the front half's a bright color, the back half is black. And obviously future colorways won't all be Trix colorways either, so you won't necessarily have the 1-in-1 design. This being the launch colorway, which also happens to be a Trix one, means that the right shoe is neon yellow with the pink Puma branding, the form stripe on the lateral side, and then the evoSPEED branding on the medial side, whereas the left shoe, as you guys can see, is pink with the neon yellow form stripe on the lateral side and the evoSPEED branding in neon yellow on the medial side. And then of course both shoes have this kind of fading pattern to solid black at the heel with solid black sole plates as well. I've never been a huge fan of the Trix concept, the one color, the kind of split design as far as the color is concerned. That's never been my thing, and I can't say that I'm particularly crazy about the combination of neon yellow and bright pink. I know some people like really bright shoes, and if you're looking to stand out, this color combo is definitely going to do that for you. The general aesthetics of the evoSPEED SL hasn't really changed either. It's just new graphics on the upper. So for the most part, I think the shoe looks really good. I don't particularly love this colorway. But again, more colorways are going to come out, and I'm sure they're going to have some pretty nice looking stuff. So let me know what you guys think of this particular colorway and the shoe in general down below in the comment section. Do you like how they look? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the on-feet portion of the video so we can get a better idea as to how these shoes fit and of course what the sizing is like. All right, so here is a look at the evoSPEEDs on feet. On my left foot, I have the stock pink laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot, I have a pair of pink grid pattern SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. Find a direct link to that website down below in the description of this video. Now, in terms of how these things fit and feel on feet, they actually are very comfortable from right out of the box. In terms of how the shoe has evolved from the original evoSPEED SL to the evoSPEED SL2, not much has really changed here. You could make an argument that the upper does seem to fit a little bit better, but for the most part, it feels pretty similar to me. If there are changes that they've made, they are extremely minimal and not something that I think most people would even notice because like I said, it's kind of up in the air as to whether or not they've even made any changes. Obviously changes to the liner, but again, they offer a minimal difference in feel when the shoes are actually on your feet. The best way to really describe this particular shoe and how it feels is it's so light that you really don't feel wearing them at all. It's a very, very unique experience because of how light they are. They're super flexible, and really the upper doesn't require any break-in time just because of how thin it is. It's such a thin textile material that there's no restrictiveness to it. It's basically just enough material to hold your foot in place and to hold the bottom of the sole plate to the bottom of your foot. That's the best way to describe it. And again, the experience of wearing them is just unlike anything else out there. Comfort is very, very good despite the shoes being as light as they are. And again, as long as you're not wearing them on artificial grass or really hard ground, which they're not designed for, by the way. If you're on a nice field, the comfort is not an issue whatsoever. The only issue is, of course, the durability, but that doesn't really impact the comfort level of the shoe. The fit, it's a tighter fitting shoe, obviously. That's kind of what you would expect from this style of shoe in general, but it's not really narrow. It's going to be suitable for pretty much anybody. If you have really, really wide feet, maybe not the best option, but for the most part, as long as you don't necessarily mind a tighter fitting shoe, they will fit most people. And as far as sizing is concerned, they run about a half size small, just like the rest of the evoSPEED line. So instead of wearing my usual size 9 US, I bumped it up to a 9.5, and the fit and the length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair for yourself, I would strongly recommend going a half size up in order to achieve the best possible fit. All right, guys, that is it for my review of the brand new Puma evoSPEED SL2. If you guys are interested in more info on this shoe, be sure to check out the review page on my website. That'll be the very first link down below in the description of this video. On that page, you'll find Buy It Now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $250 retail price. And you'll also find the high quality images of this exact pair that I took myself that'll give you a better idea as to how they actually do look in person. If you have any questions at all regarding this particular shoe, leave them down below in the comments and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.